Bandicoot. Now, there was a time when bandicoots used to come into suburban backyards all around Australia. They don't do that much anymore. This particular little chap is now really only common in Tasmania. On the mainland, there are only small populations of it left, and those are very much at risk. Bandicoots interact with the family cat, the family car, and also with the backyard itself. The question, of course, remains, why are they disappearing? Noel, why is the eastern barred bandicoot becoming so rare on the mainland?
There's lots of theories, Don, but it's probably just their loss of habitat for the most part. Cats, foxes, the main predators, but also chemicals used in farming would have had a lot to do with their demise as well.
So obviously if man can give them a bit of a hand, they can re-establish in numbers fairly quickly.
They should be able to. A lot of the farmers in the district are now, of course, with all the tree planting programs going on, they've got places set aside where bandicoots have got pretty natural grassed areas where they can do pretty well. They should be able to do well.
Peter, how bad is the situation with these eastern barred bandicoots?
Well, we only have about 200 left on mainland Australia, Don, and they're in and around the city of Hamilton in Western Victoria. Because the populations declined so dramatically, we had to take animals out of the wild, put them in predator-free area so they can breed. We have one population here to the north of the city of Hamilton, one in Melbourne at Jellybrand Hill Park near the Tullamarine Airport, and also one near Ballarat.
Now, what are the problems that these poor little animals face?
Well, one of the biggest problems with a city like Hamilton is we've only got 200 animals. We estimate there's probably 2,500 to 3,000 cats, and they're a major predator of the juvenile animals. Once the juveniles are independent of mum, they're very susceptible to predators like cats. Yeah, well, the other risk is disease. And the cats spread the disease toxoplasmosis, and the bandicoots are very susceptible to that disease. Wild animals need 3 criteria to survive. One's living space, one's food, and one's shelter. Now, if you remove any or either of those, they're under a lot of pressure.
To give this tiny bandicoot even a chance of survival, you need the support from the local council, but also from the local citizens. And that is exactly what this little structure here is all about.
We've had a lot of road kills here, and they were put in place as a test strip to determine whether they were effective in clearing the road of bandicoots. They're activated by car headlights, which send out red rays and which frighten the animals off the road.
So they don't get squished?
So they don't get squished.
How do you fund something like that?
This was funded by the Department of Conservation and the Environment. They gave money to the Shire, who undertook to put them in place. We're hoping that more funds will become available soon, and people could certainly help us there.
What sort of things do you do in your own backyards here?
Planting of trees and shrubs, the construction of hard shelters and waiting until the plants grow, grasses and so on, leaving litter around for them to live in.
So some of the junk that I can see, like your corrugated iron, is not in fact junk?
No, indeed it isn't. It's to help preserve the bandicoot again, to give them somewhere to go, particularly when predators are around.
Are they going to survive on the mainland?
They'll survive because the captive breeding, there's another colony at the community parklands in Hamilton, a captive breeding colony that are doing very well. And the Tullamarine, the ones at Jellybrand Hill near Tullamarine, they're doing very well. So they should survive. In the wild here, there's only 3 small groups left around right within Hamilton. They used to cover the whole basalt plain from Melbourne right to Hamilton, down to the coast. And this is the only, perhaps, couple of hundred left in the wild.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are